Okay, I've gotten enough stuff to open the rest of the chest and these realm tears now, and I found the stuff needed to open up the realm tears as well. I'll open up the chest before
We
I
have
open up the
enough
realm
mist arrows
tears.
to open one of those tears. Should we do it?
Epic axe pommel. Let me look. I'll stick with this one. Is that one good? No, I'll stick with this one. It might be good at some point if I upgrade it. Now I should have enough things. What is it? Yeah, I should have enough Mist of Echoes and Anchor Fog for
I don't
all
know
of
what we're still
these.
doing here.
The Realm Tears, boy. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
Very impressive, lads.
I'm kind of surprised we made it out of that one.
Well, I mean, it wasn't that difficult. Oh, Runic Attack. Gift of Apollo. Temporarily enhance the Blades of Chaos so that every hit gives Kratos a small amount of health. Okay, that's useful. Nice. 10,000 hack silver. Alright, let's do these other two.
Over on your right!
Oh shit.
No, Father! I'm not ready.
That's absolute bullshit. These fucking Reaver witch pricks keep fucking zipping around. I can't hit them because they won't stop moving. And why are they doing so much damage? They're not even that high a level compared to me. They're like 2 levels higher than me. And yet they do so much fucking damage. Why is this such bullshit?
You did it. You sealed all 3 of the realm tears. How do you feel?
Like my fingers are about to fall off.
You have come a long way, Atreus. This was no easy feat. You should feel pride.
I do. Thank you, Father.
I mean, that's how it should have gone the first time. It's fucking bullshit that they did so much damage. And again, they keep zipping around and never sit still long enough for me to hit them because they won't stop fucking moving. Talisman, huh? Oh, that sounds good. I need to upgrade that. Healing Mist. Need to upgrade. $30,000 hack silver. There's only 4 more realm tears and that's all of them.
Wish Mom were here.
Alright, let's tell
Need a
Sentry.
fresh upgrade before tackling the realm tears?
We
Not
dealt
that
with
I condone such an action, mind you.
They're gone. We dealt with
Hey,
them.
Sindri, guess what? We closed all the realm tears.
You what? No, you did not. You really did? No way.
Yes, huh? It took forever, but we sealed them all up.
I don't believe it. The strength you would need.
It is no boast.
No, I suppose you aren't the type. Well, not much else I can say besides thank you. Evaldi and Sons would thank you too, were they here.
Nice. Oh, that's all of it.
I guess I can muster the energy.
Fucking hope so. Oh, that does sound good.
Guess you don't need anything from me.
No, I wasn't done.
Can't guarantee you'll like my work today.
Where to next?
It's time to leave. And go back to Midgard, return all the Valkyrie heads to those chairs, and then summon the Valkyrie Queen. That's what we're gonna do.
I wish Mom were here.
Wait, hang on. Oh, it's Brock. Well, Brock's in here, since it's just out there. Why don't they talk to each other? That's another realm completed.
I always heard that Baldur's mother was Frigg.
Aye, Frigg. Well, that's more of a pet name, you see. It means beloved, something Odin called Freya after they wed. Out of affection, of course, so I like to believe. As things turned sour, it became a way to manipulate the truth.
How so?
Odin didn't want Freya, a Vanir goddess, getting credit for anything in Asgard. So anything worthy she accomplished was attributed to Frigg.
Like being Baldur's mother.
That's right! Freya was Baldur's mother all along.
There we go again. Frigg and Freya. Frigg was Freya all along, Baldur's mother, Odin's wife. It's so hard to imagine her with the Aesir gods, but I've seen it with my own eyes now. I can finally fast travel to different fast travel points. There we go.
Hey, if I'm a god, maybe I can fly.
No, no! Gods too must stay on the path, I promise you.
Okay.
I mean, we did
Tell me
try
again
and
how
died.
Odin knew we were going to Jotunheim before we did.
Odin is extremely clever, you see. Nearly as clever as he thinks he is. And he's a collector of prophecies. If it's about the future, he adds it to his collection. Helps him style himself as all-seeing and all-knowing. But of course, the idea is control. Control of the future, control of his fate. He'd control every realm of every land in every world if he could. Every potential pocket of resistance, he seeks to eliminate. Even if you've never posed a threat before, he may think one day you might. So you see, it's not important how he knew before you did. It's important that he was right.
Odin's prophecies. Odin collects prophecies, tries to control fate by knowing the future. Maybe he thinks we'll pose a threat someday, or at least he knows we're looking for a way to Jotunheim. Now
This
some.
is it, right?
Yep.
The rock stone?
Aye, lad. The Council of Valkyries.
The Valkyries are of Valhalla, are they not?
Glad to see you're paying attention, brother. You are correct. Valhalla, the great hall of the Einherjar, is their home within Asgard. But while there, they are subject to the scrutiny of the All-Father himself. And relations between the Valkyries and Odin were tense during my tenure as his advisor.
Why?
Well, that's an even longer story, lad. For now, why don't we look around for some clues?
Whoa, you're back. Come here. Who is she?
Gunnar, Mistress of War. After any conflict, big or small, she...
Gunnar. Mimir said of Gunnar, Mistress of War. After any conflict, big or small, she would be first on the scene, sussing out the worthy spirits for a free trip to Valhalla. Gruesome task, but she took great pride in it. Her judgment of the fallen was unparalleled and an invaluable resource to Odin. She was one of his favourites.
would be first on the scene, sussing out the worthy spirits for a free trip to Valhalla. A gruesome task. She took great pride in it.
Any conflict. Impossible.
It's true. She had help from her sisters, of course, but Gunnar was always first to arrive. Her judgment of the fallen was unparalleled, and an invaluable resource to Odin. She was one of his favourites.
Right.
Ah, Gondul. Beautiful Gondul.
Gondor. The mere sight of Gondor, the sight of Gondor always took my breath away. Gondor had a silver tongue, a sharp wit, struck a figure so stunning it literally drove men insane. Odin forbid her from setting foot in Midgard after a time, as insanity is not a welcome trait in Valhalla.
And?
Huh?
That's it? Beautiful Gondor? No story or anything?
Oh, sorry, lad. The sight of Gondul always took my breath away. Gondul had a silver tongue, a sharp wit, and struck a figure so stunning it literally drove men insane. Odin forbid her from setting foot in Midgard after a time, as insanity is not a welcome trait in Valhalla. This is none other than Geirdriful, the Master of Arms in Valhalla, responsible for...
Geard, wasn't it? Geardriful? Mimir said of Geardriful, Master of Arms of Valhalla, responsible for arming and training Odin's Einherjar. His army come Ragnarok. The Einherjar wait in the Great Hall, endlessly feasting, drinking, and fornicating themselves silly. Once Ragnarok begins, Odin calls them into service to fight on his behalf. Geardriful had her hands full training that lot.
arming and training Odin's Einherjar.
Is what?
His army come Ragnarok. The entire reason Valhalla exists, you see. The Einherjar wait in the Great Hall endlessly, feasting, drinking, and fornicating themselves silly. Once Ragnarok begins, Odin calls them into service to fight on his behalf. Geirdriful had her hands full training that lot.
Right, I'm not even going to bother reading the bestiary update since Mimir just says the same shit that's written down.
This, my friends, is Kara. Now, Valkyries are volatile by nature, but Kara, the lass is wild storm personified.
A wild storm.
Aye, calm and collected. Then the air would shift and the fury of her storm would unleash. It was beautiful in a way, assuming you could find proper shelter. Her tears would cleanse the blood-soaked battlefields. This is Rota, a chooser of the slain.
I thought all the Valkyrie did that.
Not exactly, lad. Although that is what they're most famous for, and by far their greatest responsibility. You've seen what happens to the dead without the judgment of the Valkyries.
Hellwalkers.
That's right. Rota, Gunnar, Skuld. Without them to clean up the aftermath of battle, hell overflows with souls meant for Valhalla. A sorry state of affairs. Rota must be beside herself. Ah, here we have Eir, the healer.
A Valkyrie healer? Strange.
Eir was strange, as a matter of fact. Very quiet, very calm. Where her sisters were violent rapids, Eir was a gentle stream. She healed the wounds of both mortals and gods, and even a certain all-knowing sage who once drank too much and fell off a mountain. Not my proudest moment.
Treasure! All right!
Well, well. Hilda, mistress of battle. She and Odin got on quite well, actually. Her and the other Valkyries, not so much. She would spend most of her time here in Midgard observing discord between the living, and sewing some up herself from time to time. She lived for conflict. Some say she was conflict personified. I wonder what will become of her now that she's free. Olrun, once the daughter of a powerful chieftain. She fell defending him during a Reaver attack. Olrun was escorted to Valhalla, where she chose to devote her afterlife to the pursuit of knowledge above all else. Quite unusual behavior amongst the constant drinking and feasting of her fellow Valhallian denizens.
How'd she end up with Valkyrie?
Odin. He saw a kindred spirit in Olrun's single-minded pursuit of knowledge. He appointed her as the Valkyrie's resident historian.
Almost ready!
Right, I knew this bitch was going to be tough, but fuck me, it's like all the Valkyries combined. There's just no way I'm going to beat that now. I have to level up a shitload before I can fight that bitch. No way. There's no fucking way.
Amir, what else did the serpent tell you when you spoke? Kinda sounded important.
I'm sure it's nothing. He just said the boy seemed familiar to him.
Me? That's impossible.
Oh, I quite agree. Unless, perhaps, he refers to something yet to be. It is said that when Jormungandr and Thor battle at Ragnarok, their clash so violently shakes the Tree of Life that it splinters, casting the serpent backward through time, even before his own birth.
What?
That is madness.
Well, I did say not to concern yourself.
Serpent's history. Jormungandr, the world serpent, has already fought for in Ragnarok and was not back in time, so now that or Mimir is insane. Oh no, it happened.
Here we go! Robo! Trampoline! Not ready!
Death Eater. Mother never mentioned this troll because he never did anything special to add an interesting bedtime story, and now he never will. Oh, he was the one we saw way back, and I knew he was going to be something we could fight. But what was it doing though? It was like talking or some shit. Trying to look for some treasure because I'm pretty sure there was some, well, there was treasure on this island somewhere. Yeah, see? But it looks like it's further up then.
think maybe it's better if I just work.
Whatever.
Atreus, to me!
There it is.
Okay, I know I saw something.
I saw it too.
Freya did say the Jotunheim Realm Tower was missing from the lake. But maybe only kinda?
Very strange indeed.
I didn't see shit. I didn't see nothing. I heard something, but I didn't see nothing.
Another name. Deirdre.
Someone who loved the Valkyries enough to do this? I wonder. Perhaps the Queen?
Why is Odin so desperate to find a way into Jotunheim anyway?
He's convinced the giants hold the key to changing his fate when Ragnarok comes. They are the Aesir's oldest enemies, after all, and it's their army that's supposed to do him in the end. But more than that, he covets their gifts of prophecy. He wants to know what they know and see what they see. So much suffering could have been avoided if his insatiable curiosity was not so much stronger than his wisdom.
What do you mean?
Ah, remind me to tell you why they call him the Lord of the Hanged.
Odin and the Jotnar. Odin's interested in Jotunheim. He fears the giants at Ragnarok and wants their prophecies of the future. Giants are the best at prophecy, as for me later why they call Odin Lord of the Hanged.
down there. Mimir, why did you say Tyr felt responsible for what Odin did to the giants?
There was an incident shortly after the forging of Mjolnir, when Tyr arranged a diplomatic meeting between Odin and the giant kings. Well, this was when the Long War was young, when victory was still a thing dreamed of, and the Jotnar might have tipped the balance between Aesir and Vanir. Odin had persuaded Tyr that the hammer was merely a deterrent, a means to broker peace from a position of strength. Tyr was hopeful to convince all parties they would prosper best through peace. He knew the giants were deeply concerned about the hammer, a super weapon in hands they did not trust. But they trusted Tyr. Tyr always believed the best in people, and taking Odin at his word in his desire for peace, he brought the Raven King to Jotunheim. From there, things unravelled quickly. The giants anticipated Odin's trickery and exposed his true agenda to spy and steal their secret wisdom. With magics, they expelled Odin from their realm and cursed him never to return. Frustrated, Odin visited his fury upon the giants of Midgard. Thor unleashed Mjolnir's might upon any giant he could find. None could stand against the tide of slaughter that followed. And at last, it seems, with Tyr's aid, they retreated. The tower disappeared, no giants could be found in Midgard, and no man nor god has set foot in Jotunheim since.
Another name. Hildur.
The arcane runes. They must have been cluing us to look for Valkyries imprisoned in Muspelheim and Niflheim.
That dragon, that's Baldur's, isn't it?
Yes.
And you brought it down to save me?
It was very heroic.
Another name. Gunnar. Mimir, you never told us what Magni and Modi had to do with Hrungnir.
Oh, yes. Well, what happened after Hrungnir fell slain upon Thor was that nobody in the court could get the stone body off of him. Thor was no use at this point, his brain rattled, his breath shallow, but none of Odin's men were nearly strong enough to help. Then enter little Magni and Modi, no taller than shrubs, and while nobody but myself was looking, they flipped over Hrungnir's corpse and freed their father. Magni, being blonder, got all the credit. And Modi remained bitter about it from that day to the end, which I don't need to tell you about.
Another name. Ulrich. That's all the ones I see. How are we supposed to light the braziers on a tower that's not there? Mimir, why did you work for Odin if he's so horrible?
It's my career! And if you mean to make your career as a counsellor to kings, you can't very well rule out petty maniacs. Available positions are scarce enough. My first master was a cruel piece of work as well, but I learned through him the enduring power of wit, which served me well with kings and gods alike. I couldn't have been much older than you when I started. A fairy king's errand boy and unofficial jester. By night, my mates and I had the run of the forest. Good fellows they called us, knavish sprites to the last. We'd get up to all manner of mischief, making fools of the local mortals. But as long as our lord was kept amused, we were spared the consequences. Then one day he was not amused, and I saw fit to move on. Thankfully, the ages and roads travelled since then have turned me from that merry wanderer into the paragon of virtue you see before you today.
Mimir, how'd you come to be in these lands?
Lad, there comes a time in every man's life when he changes his name and heads north to make a new start. If you live long enough to do this many times over, you might end up as far north as this place. By the time I arrived, I already knew Odin by his reputation, and so I set to demonstrate my worth by coming to him with something I knew he'd value. A mystic well of knowledge. Or rather, I should say, a well of water laced with enough mystic mushrooms to make a god see visions. Oh, he was rightly impressed. Can't say for sure what he saw that led him to try gouging out his own eyes, but I managed to restrain him before he finished the job. Then I persuaded him it has been his sacrifice made for an even higher form of sight to be bestowed. Blah, de blah, de blah, de blah. I used to think he never caught on. But the day he took my eye, I realized he had never been fooled. He knew I'd outwitted him, called the lesson wisdom, and hired me to make sure from then on I was on his side. And for a long, long time I truly was. Doesn't mean he didn't hold a grudge.
Brock? He's back there.
Refers to a modest example of Odin's thirst for knowledge. The time he spent 9 days a dead man. Hung himself by the neck from Yggdrasil's branches, put his spear through his own side, and bled down into the Well of Destiny. He roamed the realms of the dead and plundered the World Tree of its secrets, until I think, quite rightly, it got fed up with him and sent him back to the land of the living. Did I not mention he was barking mad?
The Hanged God. Odin spent 9 days dead hanging from Yggdrasil, the World Tree, for the wisdom of life and death and destiny. He goes really far to get what he wants. It's because he's dumb, that's why.
Did you forget the shortcut? Here's something I can't figure out. Odin wants to prevent Ragnarok, but the serpent's already been there and seen it. So hasn't he already failed?
Fate's a tricky thing, lad. And Odin's just arrogant enough to think he can get the best of it.
Fate is another lie told by the gods. Nothing is written that cannot be unwritten.
On that, brother, you and the All-Father may just agree. Even if he can't prevent Ragnarok, he still hopes to learn enough details to influence the outcome. Remind me later to tell you about the wolves.
Nothing is written. Odin thinks he can beat fate and change Ragnarok even though the serpent's already been through it. Father doesn't think much of fate either, another lie told by the gods, so they have that in common.
Been putzing around Niflheim, have we?
How can you tell?
I'd recognize Ivaldi's stench of failure anywhere. Plus, you still got some mist on your shoes. Let's get you squared away, then. Something for the boy? Come back soon with more crap you found.
It begins.
Here we go. Look, Draugr! Robo! Sorry, not ready.
is no failure in training. We can surpass it with practice.
Sure. Or we could come back with better weapons and armor.
A fair point.
We go again.